Hi, this is Scott Holstad, poet, writer, author, and it's a new year. Hopefully that will be something good for most or many of us, anywhere. I want to just try and get a shockingly short, for me, it seems almost impossible for me to accomplish this, but short-ish video. Continuing in my recent efforts to read some poems from my older works out of print in chronological order, ideally. And I've read from my first, I don't know, 3, 4, whatever, lose track after a while. There have been a lot over the years, and we're going way back. But today I'm going to read one from sort of a infamous little collection that was my first collaboration. Those of you who have been around a long time may recognize the name Paul Wyman. And Wyman did a lot of collaborations, R.I.P., with a lot of people back in the 80s and 90s, and was published in a million magazines. And, approached me. I was they lived in New York and I lived in California, but we had been published in a lot of the same stuff for several years. Approached me about doing a sort of a concept piece which wasn't effectively communicated to people, and indeed some found it, I think, possibly offensive. We should have written just a foreword or intro. Wyman actually said that they already had a lot of stuff in mind from my work, seeing stuff in various magazines and whatnot, and wanted to actually wrote response poems. And we wanted to sort of do it a little over the top for socio-political reasons, which I won't go into right now. But I said, because at the time I had been involved with a commercial press and a small press and had some distribution options, and so I said, you take care of the collection and I'll handle distribution. And so I never actually saw it until it was done, and when I saw it I was like, holy shit, that's ugly. And wouldn't you know, also I didn't know what the title would be, and the title is called Grungy Ass Swaying, and Paula Wyman handled the colors and the artwork. The artwork, this happens to, believe it or not, this was published in 1993. This is not what I would have chosen if I had been consulted, if I'd perhaps been a little more experienced. I'd only been at this a few years. I might have suggested some other things. This was my first collection to wind up in the Library of Congress. Yeah. I really can think of so many others I would have preferred first. But when you go look up my Library of Congress authority number or whatever it's called, you'll often find it still associated with this, even though they have my newest book, current book, Surviving Immortality Again, which came out October of 2025, on the shelves at the Library of Congress. And you can find it when searching, but can't escape Grungy Ass Swaying. That being said, it's not a throwaway. In fact, there's actually a site, there are a lot of sites out there that have Scott Holstad quotes from either different books of mine or just whoever puts these together. I mean, I found one the other day that had almost like 50 quotes of mine, curated by whom, I don't know, from dozens of different books of mine. It's kind of cool. I always wonder, who does this. But there's actually a Grungy Ass Swaying quotes site with just a few. But whoever does these don't miss much. I'm just going to read two short ones. This is obviously a short little collection. I have a new computer, a new camera, a new everything I'm trying to get used to. So I'm going to, because this has already gone on longer than I wanted to, I'm just going to read two quick ones of mine. And I think I have seen elements of one or two of these appear in various quotes online. This first one is called Spoken. A beautiful girl spoke to me today through little honeyed whispers, dreaming icicles, streams of words, mouth moving, saying much in little tones, traveling passionately into distant lands, far off hopes, strangers' arms, a hoped for death told her secret. And the other one I think I'll read is, I think I will read one I titled Girl. Really original. This one I have seen in places online. Girl, sitting there across from me, a picture of permanent aloneness. She looks pissed. Do you hate yourself? I wonder. You can't expect others to accept you until you've been able to accept yourself. Sometimes I think I can really feel the pain. I've been there. I lived there. But if you can make it through, nothing will beat you. You know, the madhouses are full of emotional suicides. Let's just take it day by day. Would be grateful for likes, comments, subscriptions, shares. I want to start doing some more of these, so feedback welcome. Anything, whatever. I'm bad at ending these videos. I somehow will get better. My name is Scott Holstad. You can find it at my website, hankrules2011.com. It's the first day of 2026. Here's hoping this might be an improved year for as many people as possible. I tend to be a student, but here's to a good year for everybody. Take care. Ciao.